Hello. He thinks I'm talking to people. Visst, Wikus? Wikus? Jag pratar med kameran. He thinks I'm talking to people. Wikus? Hi. I have noticed a few dog breed channels coming up on YouTube, and some that I really like, and they sometimes bring up really rare breeds, sometimes more common breeds, and they talk to breeders and owners, but I haven't seen any video about the breed I own, the Mallorcan bulldog. So I thought, yeah, I can make a video, and this is completely non-scripted. I'm just gonna talk to my heart's content about the breed that I have owned for. I only have one, so it's not an extensive experience, but he is 9 years old today, so I thought, well, I can just as well do it on his birthday. So May the 15th. Yes, it's cold here, we're in Finland, so I don't speak Catalan. The breed has two proper names. The Spanish name is Perro de Presa Mallorquín, or the politically correct name of the FCI, International Kennel Club, is Perro Dogo Mallorquín. And Perro simply means dog, Dogo is a type of dog, the Molosser breeds, and Mallorquín, of course, from Mallorca. Perro de Presa means that it's a catch dog, like the Presa Canario, which they are related to. But the Catalan name, because they also spoke Catalan in Mallorca, is Ca de Bou. I don't really know how to pronounce it. Google Translate says Ca de Bou, and it means bulldog in Catalan. In Spanish it would be Perro de Toro, and it simply means bulldog. Come here, Wikus. His name is Wikus, like in District 9. Wikus, come here. Come here. Sockies. Oh. He's getting grey in the face. He used to be black. He's old boy, no. He's too big, actually. He's so tall. I measured his height with the withers a while back, and I think he's 68 or 69 centimeters tall, so he's like a kind of corso size. He's too big. The males are supposed to top out at 58 centimeters. Males 55 to 58 centimeters, females 52 to 55, I think it is. So he's very tall. Everyone, when we walk somewhere, we go somewhere and people talk about the dog, he says, he's so big. So I thought he was supposed to be a medium-sized dog, and I got a big one. But they're supposed to be the smallest Molosser dog, except for French, English bulldogs. They're smallest Molosser, but I got a big one. So he has sisters that are way smaller than him. So the breed is pretty, I can't pronounce English perfectly, they're heterogeneous. It's a lot of variety in the type and size. Yeah, Pinne! He found a stick. He loves sticks, big ones. But he weighs between about 33-34 kilos, so he's actually a bit lighter. He's massive. The mass of him is like a female more. And the thing I want to add, he is neutered. He was neutered when he was 7 months old. So he's not as masculine as his father and brothers. They have beefier heads, and so the breed standard says that a Ca de Bou male's head circumference should exceed the height of the shoulders. So he is not tighty enough. I like the long-legged skinny dogs more because they are more athletic. But and you can see a big type difference, like I said. In Spain, they like the long nose, clean face, no wrinkles, and long nose so they can breathe, and reasonable legs. As a normal dog, not as tall as skinny as he is, but then there are other dogs in, like for example in Poland. I think there have been some imported to America, but in Russia and France, you can see some Ca de Bou that they look like, you've taken my dog and crossed it with a pug almost. They are tiny and short and tiny face with wrinkles, and they look so strange. If you look at Wikipedia, there's actually a photo of Wikus there when he was 2 years old, down on the page of Wikipedia. A black dog, that's him. He's just rolling in the grass. But the first picture, the main picture on Wikipedia, which is everywhere, is a little fawn female, and she looks like you crossed a dog like Wikus with a pug. And some are really, really bulky or overbuilt in the backside, and Mostly it's the short faces that I don't like. That it seems that the Spanish breed club doesn't like either. They should have. Wikus, come here, come here, come here. Yeah, he's good at training, but not recall. He doesn't want. Stop, come here. There's nothing. Wikus, sit. Nothing in the breed standard that calls for a short face. His face is little shorter than the skull, so he's actually not like a wolf or anything. He has a still slightly shorter face, but he looks very good. It's the head. His head is like you would see in the Spanish breed club. Stick up in. Wikus, gå den. So he's extremely playful. I don't know if that's a breed trait. He reminds me a little bit of what I think boxers and other molossers often are like this, very playful, high up in the age, and he's a male and he's very childish. But you see him now, he's so happy and playful. If you come with someone here he doesn't like, he's a completely different animal. I mean, he has no fear at all if it comes to what he perceives as a threat to the pack. I have videos of him guarding. And just yesterday they were doing some maintenance up on the roof with a crane, and he was so mad. He was just growling like a grizzly bear. He was crazy. And when he was about 2 years old, he was a bit unpredictable. He would... I couldn't have him loose for a while. Just on the time he turned 2, he could go after people for no reason. And I have to say, he's never bitten anyone, because I trained bite inhibition with him when he was a puppy. He has only bitten me in play like that, but since he was 1 year old, he no longer bit even in play, because I was so hard with that bite inhibition. Because you can't have a dog of this caliber, with that head. He's so strong, and they think it's okay to bite even in play. So he knows, he has gone after people that he perceived as a threat, but he has only pounced them, or roaring, growling and running in tight circles around. So that's when he gets really, really mad, and he thinks someone is threatening me. It's so fun. He was 5. Yeah, he was 5 when I met my husband, and when he met my husband, and so they are best friends too. They are even the first day. So that's when he saw that. Okay, I took home a friend that. They like each other. So Wikus thought, this is a friend. I like him from immediately. When he knows I like someone, and they are nice to him, he likes them. He loves them immediately. So he loves my husband. But if we play a fight or are a bit too loud, he will come over immediately and just go, he knows, pouncing my husband with the nose. And it's always my husband's fault. We are fooling around. Wikus, he comes over to my husband. It's your fault. He's barking. What are you doing? But if I pretend to hit my husband and he screams, it's also his fault. So we say Wikus is a feminist, because he's always on my side no matter what. And so he loves my husband, he loves friends, he loves the rest of my family that he's known for years, but he really has a super devotion to me. And I don't know if that's a breed trait that they will be bonded to one person, because he lived with only me for 5 years, his first 5 years. So, for example, if my husband is going to take him for a walk without me, he will there are people over there, so I'm just pausing. A woman with a dog, a little dog looking at us. Ah, there. If my husband is going for a walk with Wikus and saying, come here, with the leash, Wikus will just go over and look at me like, what you going to? I'm not kidding, I'm not exaggerating. He refuses to go for a walk without me. I have to drag him over to my husband on the leash, so then he can go fine. But he doesn't want to go without me, and it's really cute. I say, he has given me the biggest compliment a dog owner can get, and that's he loves me more than food. Because if we're gonna leave and there's food out, he's still gonna be here, but. And we get back and it's fine, but if he's gonna leave without me, no, but we have to come, she has to come too. So he loves me at least as much as food, so that's... So guard instinct I brought yes, dog aggression. He has 6 or 5 litter mates, Then one had a problem, had to be put down, problem with the heart of the puppies. But so 5 little mates, and then he had 2 sisters a year after that. I don't know anything about. But out of those 5 little mates, I think Wikus is the only one who doesn't have dog aggression issues. And some have said, well, that's because you neutered him. He's the only one who's neutered. But I also think it has something to do with how I handle him, how I train him. Good socialization, and training with other dogs. So we can walk through neighborhoods and we can meet 10 dogs in one walk, and maybe one is relatively nice and the rest are just crazy. You know, most people's dogs are just borderline crazy. They whine and scream and bark and pull and drag, and they look like they want to kill my dog. And he is just like, sometimes he can, but that's it, he's fine. But otherwise, this is a pretty powerful breed. They're pretty high caliber, I like to say. So it is always that, especially with unneutered dogs, you have to check male to male or female to female. It's always something to think about. But I have never had any problems with him. Oh, well, he has got into fights over resources. My mother had a sheltie. We've always had shelties in my family, Shetland sheepdog. And there was a dog who was around when Wikus was a puppy. He was a few years older, he is dead now. But when they were both near food, Wikus loved that dog, Mimasi was his name, and was like his play uncle. But when there was food around, Wikus got it into his head that he had to fight him over it. But other than that, resource guarding, and he's also played with a dog here, a golden retriever, and when they got hold of the same stick and he really wanted it, he can get really, really intensive with resources. So that's the only problem I have with him. But as long as you're just watching, it's fine. I had another dog, you may have seen this on my other videos, a Romanian stray. They got along really well. We had them together for 3 years and they never had a fight. She is a pretty submissive dog, not very intensive, but she always tried to get in front of if there's food, the treat, like that, super eager, happy dog. And he was always okay with that, never, nothing. And she was just 1 year younger than him, a neutered female. And the thing is, if they were playing with bones, never any problems, nothing, she would just get the bones to tease him, so he would chase her, because she wanted to be chased and play with, but he just wanted to shoot the bone. So the fun thing is, I'm sorry, I don't have video of this, I should have video of it, but if she has a bone, he would never fight her over it. He would just go over and grab the bone, and she was, okay, it's yours. And the funniest thing, I wish I had this, it happened if we were indoors with a bone and he was chewing and she wanted the bone. She didn't want to be chased, we were not outside, she wanted the bone herself. She would go over to him, chewing his bone, stand over him, sniff his ear or something, and he would just drag his tail and, hey, I love you too. And then she would just snatch the bone up in the couch and he would look at me, like, and then look at her and look at me like, take it from her, give it back to me, it's my bone. No, it's your fucking fault. He would, and sorry language again. That would happen almost every day. He never learned. Wikus, oh, I have to say that too. I recently made a list of all the words he knows, and it's incredible. It's like 75 words. And we're talking names of people and other dogs and of toys and things and commands and things to do like bus and car. He knows the difference, and different types of food. And I can't swear he knows the difference between food, dinner and pizza. He knows those words in Swedish, but he knows the words at least. And he knows go for a bus, go to the bus, go for a car ride. So with all of those things, including commands, he knows about 75 words. So I'm pretty impressed with that. I didn't expect it to be that much. So I have to say he's very smart. I said for years that if I ever became handicapped, I could train him to be a decent service dog. I could absolutely teach him that, because he's very smart. He loves to listen. I've never had a dog. I've grown up with Shetland sheepdogs, like I said. I had a Romanian stray and a whippet before, and I've known a bunch of other dogs, and I've never had a dog that listens so much. So people that meet him, they love that You talk to him now. Like every word that comes out of my mouth is worth gold to him. So I've been talking about Wikus a lot, but about the breed in general I got ahead of myself a bit. The breed in general, I told you the measurements. They are a medium-sized molosser. He is about as tall as a Cane Corso, but that's not really correct. They're supposed to be short, compact, practical-sized molosser. And you can't really say whether they are a Mastiff or a Bulldog. I call him a Bulldog because for the first year I said, when people asked, if you say Ca de Bou, Perro de Presa Mallorquín, they have no idea. So as I said, he's a Mallorcan Mastiff, and everyone said, oh, he's gonna be big. No, he's another type of Mastiff. So then I started calling him Mallorcan Bulldog because they're both accurate. And there's no real taxonomy in dogs like that. So Mastiff is more of a family, Bulldog is a purpose, and they were used as bulldogs, and I'll get to that in a minute. So, and I want to bring back the name Bulldog more to these type of dogs and American Bulldogs, the functional athletic dogs. Rather than when everyone hear Bulldog today, they think of, I apologize, but that's what they think of. So that's not a real Bulldog. And there's nothing against those dogs, but they are not bulldogs. They are just ornaments. I feel sorry for them. That's just it. These types of dogs are the real bulldogs because they are athletic and can work. A bulldog is a dog that's supposed to fight a bull and live to tell the tale. So the history of the Ca de Bou, they were used as guard dogs then. They were brought in first. You can see the history goes back to Alans and Mastiff types dog being brought in the 1200s. Then you can say the dog just like this, the Mallorcan guard dog, was around in the 1700s. And they look a lot like what Wikus does, tall and lean, long face. Then the English came over to Mallorca and brought their English bulldogs, and back then English bulldog was like a pit bull. It was not the dog we think of today. It was like a medium-sized, smallish fighting dog that fought bulls. You can see those old pictures of them fighting bulls. It looks like a pit bull or a staffy. So they crossed those with the Mallorcan guard dogs, and they got the Ca de Bou. Then in the late 1800s, early 1900s, yeah, I'm not sure, they banned dog-to-dog fighting and dog-to-bull fighting different dates, 1883 and 1940. I'm not sure which was which, but after 1940 the breed was about extinct because no one wanted the dogs anymore when they couldn't fight them. So that's the strange thing. The strange thing is that the FCI recognized the breed in 1964, I believe, which was strange because the breed was considered extinct. Then they did a reconstruction project. They looked for dogs that looked like the original Ca de Bou in Mallorca, and they crossed them with the supposedly English bulldog, Alano Español, which is the mainland Spanish bulldog, which looks very similar to these, but they are more hunting and cattle dogs, and they have big ears, but they look very similar. And with the Ca de Bestiar, which is a Perro de Pastor Mallorquín, it's a Mallorcan herding dog, very tough dog. It looks kind of like a black lab and is very tall and lean. So I think Wikus has more of the Ca de Bestiar line in him because he looks like them a lot. And then a few decades ago, like 8 generations back from him, so maybe 1980s, early 1990s, they had the Ca de Bou reconstructed as we know them today. And the problem since then is that they have been very inbred. I mean, his maternal grandmother's line, it's like there's uncle and niece, mother and son, father and daughter, grandmother and grandson. It's like a web, the family tree. Not all of his family tree, but that side. And it's when you go up, about 8 generations from him. He's born in 2010. It's the same dogs over and over. Mainly Tito and his niece Anastasia were the foundations of the breed. So the modern breed. I just have to show you how pretty he is here. Wikus? Wikus, är du pojke? No, he's been playing a while now. Är du gammal gubbe? The old man today. Exercise requirements, not that much. They are actually, because they are molossers, they are pretty passive. They are working to an extent, but I have got the impression about Cane Corso and such dogs, they are more energetic and need more exercise and are pretty hard. So aggression level, think of them as the same as about the Cane Corso or Bull. They are pretty serious dog. He does not belong, I can tell you that, he does not belong in a very close area with thousands of people around. They are better for the countryside, and you have to really be aware when the dog is on leash or loose, or there's children around or something they can see as a threat. Be aware of that. Exercise, like I said, reasonable, walk every day, playing, training the mind, exercising the mind too, but nothing crazy. They are pretty mellow dogs. It's not like a Belgian Shepherd or anything that needs to go all the time. They are very reasonable. And guarding against, I mean, if you want protection against nasty people, it's the best you can have almost. And without going crazy like a Fila or something, they are just the best. And in a more compact format. But they love people that you love, that you accept. They are like best friends immediately if they like the person and you show that person is okay, no problem. And other animals, he has zero prey drive. I mean, really, when my other dog saw a hare and she wanted to eat it, he was like, what is the hare doing? He was guarding this hare instead. No prey drive whatsoever. I've had him with birds and guinea pigs and absolutely nothing. And it's so cute. He is not afraid of anything that is actually dangerous. But he is, when a little guinea pig nibbled his nose, he is afraid of the small animals, but not of the big. I'm sure, I can't prove it, but I'm sure if a bear came here, he would run up to the bear and roar and chase the son of a bitch away. He would be so angry and not scared at all. So he is not scared of things that are really, really dangerous. But he is scared of, I have to say, of tiny holes in a balcony or escalators and things he wasn't socialized properly with when he was a puppy. So socialize that, escalators and such, because when they're small, because you can't, I had to drag him on escalators. And when he's 35 kilos and his legs are like that, it's not fun. But beware of breeders and people that speak about this breed as absolutely perfect. I read about them as much as I could before I got him, but it's hard sometimes when they all talk like it's the best breed ever and there's nothing wrong with them at all. They're not for everyone. They are pretty dominant, they are territorial, they can be aggressive with other dogs, they can be aggressive with people if you don't know what you're doing. It's the inbreeding which leads to some sickness. He is fine except for his legs, which I don't know if it's genetic or I exercised him too much. You have to see. If I exercised him too much when he was young. So his back knees are not good, and it's his 9th birthday today. I'm not sure if it will be his last birthday because his legs are not good. So that could be my fault, could be genetics because of inbreeding and such. But he's fine now, see, he's happy. He's just limping a bit. Wikus, är du glad? He does this every day, he loves to roll in the grass. So all in all, very good dog, but not for everyone and not perfect, but they deserve more attention. I have seen rare breed sites, rare breed pages that have breeds that are way rarer than the Ca de Bou and way more common than the Ca de Bou. So I'm not sure why. It's just so annoying that they seem to not get the attention they deserve. They really are. Someone I've seen said that they look too much like mongrels, but I actually love that they don't have an extreme appearance. It's just a dog, and they are so beautiful. Wikus, här borta, hej då, yo. So I don't know if I'm gonna have another one yet because I love a bunch of other breeds too. It's mainly the inbreeding I'm worried about, but if you can get a healthy one, you know that they have been x-rayed, elbows and hips and knees a couple of generations back. You should be pretty good. They should live 12-14 years. I've had bad luck with him a bit, but he's the best dog I've ever had. And seriously, of all the animals I've had in my life, and there are a lot, if I could pick one I would have for the rest of my life, even if I live another 60 years, it would be him. I wouldn't trade him for anything. Wikus! It's time. Så, stå pojke.